Wrights in the top 5 as these guys just continue their barrage on the world at the moment.
And my family is, don't let nothing get in your way.
Wonder why those boys ride so well. That's because their dad rides.
Be willing to go over, under, round. Don't let anything stop you or get in your way. I'm Cody Wright, 2-time world champion saddle bronc rider.
Pretty typical for Cody Wright.
Cody, what an accomplished cowboy. 13 trips to the Wrangler NFR.
The feeling of getting on the bronc is you got butterflies and it's standing there waiting to nod your head. You feel the power of that horse as he blows out of that chute, and you've got to hold your feet. Just almost effortless once you've picked up that timing. There's no better feeling than making a good ride.
Textbook, he is the best bronc rider there's ever been. If you look at the textbook side of it, that's how you ride a bucking horse, is how he did it.
There's never been anybody do it better, and there probably won't ever be, because for real, he does everything flawless. He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist, from saddle bronc riding to barrel racing.
A cattleman, a horseman, a dad, a husband, anything. You know, he's a perfectionist.
My dad has always been a cowboy, and I wanted to grow up, be like him, and it was just kind of the way I was raised. Riding horses, moving cows, farming, ranching. I think I was mostly just inspired by the lifestyle I was raised in. Oh, the typical day here lately, I wake up in the morning, fire that Polaris up, run down, feed some horses, and if I can get home fast enough to help Lily practice barrels and poles, and we're headed to some rodeo. I think what drives me to be tough is being able to get kicked down about as low as you can go and still get up and go. That's a lot of the reason I have like horses and cows, and you can't just lay in bed. You have to go out and feed them and take care of them. And you know, my dad, he'd always say, well, I'll be just as sick laying in bed as I will at work, you know. So he'd get up and would do hard labor, and you know, I'd see the guy, you know, puke and just keep going. And he, you know, just a tough kind of guy, and just continue on. Don't let life get you down. Going to 100 rodeos in a year when you're 19, 20, it's just not enough. I couldn't wait to get to the next one. That was one thing I loved about the summer, because you know, you're rodeoing. Some days you're going to 2 in a day, and if you got thrown off, you just couldn't get to the next one fast enough to take your frustration out on the next one and not necessarily redeem yourself to anybody but yourself. Nothing feels better than feeling good and making a good ride.
Cody Wright, number 1 in the world on the Bronc of the Year. This is how you draw it up.
He's got him, he owns him, and I think he just won the average.
Honestly, I didn't care if my kids did it. You know, they like to joke. They've won all the stuff they've won because their dad's Cody Wright. But them kids, they've put in the miles, they've practiced. I guarantee there ain't any one of them kids at the level that they're at that's been on any more broncs or bulls than they've been. They ain't had nothing handed to them.
What a bronc ride for Wright.
They got 3 Wrights in the top 5.
These Wright boys aren't afraid to bear down, are they?
NFR is the National Family of Rodeo. It's the Super Bowl rodeo. If you're a cowboy, a bronc rider, that's where you want to be. That's the place. Top 15 guys in the world in every event, and they're coming for blood.
These are truly the greatest athletes in our game.
I rodeo because I want to be the greatest that's ever done it. You know, I want more gold buckles than anybody's ever won. I want my name to be at the top of all the record books.
I don't know if I'm ever wanted to do anything else, really.
I've done a lot of things in my life, and there's nothing like riding a bucking horse.
Just the thrill of rodeo. Since I was a little kid, I've dreamed of just being the guy that when the 10th round comes, having to stay on to win a world title, and it's went my way every single year that I've been able to compete at the finals, and it's wild. It's something that you can't hardly explain until you do it.
Throw that hat, Stetson. You are some kind of cowboy.
That is one of the most amazing cowboys we've ever had in the history of our game.
Yeah, so my dad made the NFR. His brothers, my uncles, they knew they could do it. My brothers, they were like, everybody else is doing it, we might as well do it. And then when I showed up, I'm like, gold buckle it is. Like the NFR, that's already solidified in my mind. I got that easy. We were all raised around going the NFR, so a lot of guys, their first NFR is the first time they've even been in the Thomas and Mack. I've been to the NFR every year since 2003, all 10 rounds. Like I've been to the NFR more than most guys. And then when I showed up, I had a pretty good idea of what I needed to do, and like down to my little sister, like I think in the barrels here in the near future, she should be there. And I mean, our kids, my brother's kids, like the grandkids, they're all, in my eyes, gonna be a part of rodeo. And I feel like each generation that drops down, their goals set a little bit further.
My biggest goal is to win the gold buckle, just like everyone here. Hopefully I'll be able to rodeo with them and just be able to send my pretty Palomino down the alley.
Being tough is like every time you show up, you're not afraid. Like that's kind of what it is, because rodeo, it's life or death every time you crawl in there. So like every time I get on, I'm ready to lay everything on the line, sacrifice my body, and that's what's got me my 8 world titles. Is just going at it, not afraid to get hurt or anything. Like that's being tough, and that's one thing my dad has instilled in all of us, and that's why you see the Wright family grow so big, because like one thing they can't disagree with is the fact that I've come back stronger and better every single time that I've done what he's told me.
You know, you can go from champ to chump in one jump, and you know, it's so humbling, and you got to be tough physically, mentally, and just have that drive to never quit.
In my mind, it's like when you're down and out, not quitting, not stopping, just keep your head down and keep going.